Iran, a nation steeped in ancient history, yet governed by some of the most unusual and controversial laws on earth. In a place where religion and state walk hand in hand, daily life is shaped by restrictions that may seem unimaginable to outsiders. Owning a dog forbidden, accessing social media heavily censored, even simple gestures, like giving a thumbs up, can be considered deeply offensive. But these are just the beginning. In this video, we uncover 15 shocking prohibitions and bizarre customs that only exist in Iran rules that will make you question what life is really like. Behind the headlines, get ready, what you're about to discover might surprise you far more than you expect. Prohibition of Premarital Lovemaking. While the act of a couple living together before marriage is widely accepted across much of the globe, in Iran, it is viewed as a grave offense that casts a long shadow of shame upon both the individuals and their families. In an Islamic nation such as this, intimate bonds outside the sanctity of marriage are treated with extreme sensitivity, governed by unyielding religious and cultural mandates. For a woman, the stakes are unimaginably high. Engaging in a relationship outside of marriage can lead to severe consequences at times. It can even cost her life. While the laws may offer a slight degree of leniency toward men, they too are met with strict penalties for behavior deemed promiscuous. In this society, true safety and social acceptance are found only within the protective boundaries of a marital union. Any intimate connection forged outside those vows can result in corporal punishment, long years of imprisonment, or a fate far worse. In a similar vein, the presence of alcohol is entirely erased from public life. Both its sale and its consumption are strictly forbidden by the state. Those who choose to defy these laws are met with harsh and immediate retribution, including public lashings, incarceration, or even the ordeal of torture. Prohibition of immodest clothing. If you visit Iran during the summer, be prepared for intense heat, but no matter how high the temperature rises, dressing modestly is mandatory. The issue of clothing, especially for women, is deeply political and religious. Iran's clerical leaders promote a lifestyle centered on humility and modesty. Black is considered the most dignified color, and makeup, jewelry, or even accessories like neckties are viewed as symbols of Western capitalism. Women are required to wear a black chador, covering their entire bodies, and exposing hair, skin, or makeup is strictly prohibited. Despite this, many women wear colorful garments and makeup beneath their chadors. In recent years, men too have faced increased scrutiny. Wearing shorts, jewelry, or having non-traditional hairstyles like ponytails or spiked hair can result in punishment. Offenders may be taken for forced haircuts or sent home to change clothes. If they refuse, they risk arrest. Upon release, they are required to sign a pledge not to repeat the violation. While physical punishment for women has ceased since the mid-1990s, Iran's moral security plan is widely viewed as a political tool, a way for the government to maintain control and shift public attention away from broader societal issues. Prohibition of pork. Pork is one of the most widely consumed meats in many parts of the world, but not in Iran. As a Muslim-majority country, Iran follows Islamic dietary laws which clearly classify pork as haram, or forbidden. The Quran prohibits the consumption of pork, considering it ritually impure and not conducive to good health. While there is an exception allowing its consumption in cases of absolute necessity, pork remains strictly banned in daily life. The aversion to pork also reflects cultural and religious identity, serving as a way for Iranians to distinguish themselves from Western customs. Some Iranians take pride in this prohibition, viewing abstinence from pork as a symbol of moral and physical purity. Interestingly, even some Western scientists, such as Hans-Heinrich Rieck, have argued that pork may contribute to health issues, reinforcing these traditional beliefs. Prohibition of dancing in public places. Dancing freely on the streets of Iran could get you arrested or worse. While in many countries, dance is a form of joy and cultural expression, in Iran it is treated as a potential threat to religious and social order. Public dancing is officially banned, and even minor displays, like dancing in a park or on a sidewalk, are viewed with suspicion. Authorities associate dancing with Western immorality, and in some cases, drug use. If the police catch you dancing, even without music, they may detain you on the spot. You could be subjected to questioning, and in some cases, undergo drug testing. If stimulants are found in your system, Punishments range from corporal discipline to jail time. Women, especially, face harsh consequences if caught dancing or even watching men dance in public. Even group dances for cultural or national festivals require government permits, and those are rarely approved. The moral police strictly enforce these laws, patrolling both in person and online. Videos of dancing shared on social media have led to arrests in the past. Foreigners are not exempt from this rule. Many have been detained and deported for what they assumed were harmless displays of joy. In Iran, dancing is not seen as innocent expression. It is a form of rebellion, and the punishment can be severe. Prohibition of pointing the shoe sole at others. In Iran, a seemingly harmless gesture, pointing your shoe sole at someone, can provoke intense hostility. In Islamic culture, the sole of a shoe is viewed as dirty and symbolically impure, associated with the lowest, most unclean aspects of life. So when someone points their shoe at another, even unintentionally, it's interpreted as a deep insult. This means sitting cross-legged in front of others, especially if the sole of your foot is facing someone, can be highly offensive. In Iran, where Islamic values are strongly upheld, such actions can escalate tensions rapidly. It's not just a matter of etiquette. Locals may react aggressively, believing you're deliberately showing disrespect. Iran's cultural climate is especially sensitive, and foreign visitors are expected to observe these norms strictly. There are accounts, shocking but true, where confrontations have escalated to violence over such perceived slights. Compounding the danger is the fact that firearm possession in Iran, particularly in rural or tribal regions, is more widespread than most foreigners realize. Locals, believing they are upholding honor or tradition, may respond harshly if they feel their customs have been violated. The government often defends such actions, viewing them as legitimate responses to foreign disrespect. In short, when in Iran, always sit with your feet flat on the ground and keep your soles to yourself. Prohibition of mentioning the Arabian Gulf. If you're visiting Iran, never under any circumstance call it the Arabian Gulf. For Iranians, it is the Persian Gulf, and any alternative is considered an insult to their national identity. The name Persian Gulf is not just a geographical term, it's a powerful symbol of Iran's ancient heritage and cultural pride. Iran has fiercely defended this terminology in political arenas, international forums, and even with tech companies like Google demanding the correct name appear on global maps. In contrast, several Arab nations like Saudi Arabia and the UAE refer to the same body of water as the Arabian Gulf, sparking an ongoing geopolitical and cultural dispute. In Iran, the issue is so sensitive that using the term Arabian Gulf can result in immediate detainment. Foreign visitors have reported being interrogated or even deported for using the wrong term in public or online. Some locals consider it a direct insult, akin to questioning Iran's sovereignty. The Iranian government views the term Arabian Gulf as an extension of Western and Arab efforts to undermine Persian history and territorial rights. In a country where nationalism and historical pride run deep, this is a linguistic landmine. So if you're in Iran, stick to Persian Gulf. Anything else could get you into serious trouble. Prohibition of alcohol. If you enjoy sipping wine with dinner or celebrating with champagne, Iran is absolutely not the place for it. Alcohol is not just discouraged, it is completely banned. Rooted in Islamic teachings, the prohibition on alcohol is strict and absolute. The Quran directly forbids intoxicants, describing them as the abomination of Satan's handiwork. Although Prophet Muhammad acknowledged that alcohol may have some benefits, he clearly stated that the harm far outweighs the good. As a hizuch, Muslims are commanded to abstain entirely from alcohol, no exceptions, not even a drop. In Iran, this religious mandate has become a deeply entrenched legal reality. Selling, purchasing, or consuming alcohol is a criminal offense. The punishments are severe. Individuals caught with alcohol can face public lashing, heavy fine, or long-term imprisonment. For repeat offenders, or those involved in smuggling or distributing alcohol, the consequences can be even more brutal, including extended detention, torture, or worse. Despite the ban, some underground black markets for alcohol do exist, but they are dangerous and risky. Raids on secret gatherings or homes happen often, and those arrested are paraded in the media as a warning for tourists. Even unintentionally violating this law can result in serious consequences. In short, Iran is a completely dry country, not just in legality, but in cultural principle. And it enforces this ban with iron discipline, prohibition of using the thumbs up gesture. Think twice before flashing a friendly thumbs up in Iran. It might be one of the biggest unintentional insults you could make. While this gesture is a sign of approval or positivity in most of the world, in traditional Iranian culture, it has a very different meaning. Historically, the thumbs up is seen as vulgar and offensive, akin to giving someone the middle finger in Western countries. Though urban Iranians today may understand its Western meaning, the gesture is still widely misunderstood, especially in rural or conservative areas. There have been instances where a seemingly innocent thumbs up has sparked heated arguments, escalated confrontations, or caused irreparable offense. For locals unfamiliar with global pop culture, the gesture can still carry a loaded, aggressive implication. In cities like Tehran, most people might ignore it or chuckle awkwardly, but in remote villages or traditional communities, this small mistake could create serious tension. To be safe, avoid using this gesture altogether. If you want to show approval, a smile, a respectful nod, or gentle applause are far safer and more culturally appropriate alternatives. In Iran, nonverbal communication is as crucial as the spoken word, and one wrong move can change an interaction instantly. Prohibition of public displays of affection. In Iran, love must stay private because public displays of affection, even the most innocent ones, can land you in jail. Hugging, kissing, or even holding hands in public, particularly between unmarried couples, is considered morally inappropriate and illegal. Rooted in Islamic law, this restriction aims to maintain modesty, social decency, and religious sanctity in public life. The consequences for violating this rule are shockingly strict. Couples seen showing affection in parks, streets, or even in cars may be arrested on the spot. One famous case in 2019 involved a young couple who posed for photos in a popular square. Their image went viral, but instead of being celebrated, they were detained, interrogated, and forced to face criminal charges for offending public morality. Deputy Police Chief Mustafa Nourouzi publicly condemned their actions, saying, "It is not acceptable that this couple has shown no respect for the culture, religion, and values of the country. The law does not make exceptions for tourists either. Even married couples are advised to avoid public intimacy to prevent misunderstandings with authorities." In Iran, romance is not banned, it's just forbidden from being seen. While behind closed doors, couples may live as they please. The public space belongs to tradition and faith, not flirtation. For travelers, even a small misstep like a peck on the cheek or linking arms could result in arrest, legal trouble, and deportation. In a nation where love is sacred, modesty islah, prison of reading books about sorcery, in a land where scientific understanding can sometimes be overshadowed by ancient fears, many within this Islamic nation turn to the hidden world of fortune tellers, divination, and sorcerers. They seek out love spells, protective talismans, or a shield against the unseen. It is a world of shadows. Yet some of these practitioners hold a staggering influence over hundreds of thousands of workers across the country. To combat this, the moral police forces were established with a clear and firm mandate to hunt down and prosecute anyone believed to be a sorcerer or involved in supernatural acts. In the eyes of the state, such practices are more than just superstition. They are viewed as a direct threat to the social order and the very foundations of religion. Because of this, any literature concerning the dark arts is strictly forbidden. To own, to read, or to trade in books about sorcery is to invite disaster. One can be arrested and charged as a practitioner of the occult based on a single volume. The reality on the ground is often far more unpredictable. The moral police in Iran have been known to carry out arrests without the need for clear or transparent reasons. If you are discovered with a book written in a language or script they cannot decipher, they may immediately conclude it is a work of sorcery. Your first experience of their authority would be an immediate arrest, held in custody until a confession is extracted, or, in rare cas, your innocence is finally declared. Prohibition of using the left hand. I don't know why they have such peculiar thoughts and beliefs, but we have to follow them if we don't want trouble. In this country, Iran, the left hand for most of us is just like the right hand. But in Islam, especially the Muslim community in Iran, it is considered extremely dirty and prohibited in many activities. During religious rituals and important events, the use of left hand is forbidden, whether it's holding food, performing ceremonies, or shaking hands. The left hand is not to be used when giving or receiving gifts. Both hands should be used, with the left hand placed under the right hand. Avoid using the index finger to point. Instead, use the thumb of the right hand and keep the other 4 fingers tightly clenched in the palm. Iranians generally prefer using the right hand for religious and significant activities. Since the left hand is often associated with personal hygiene and considered unclean, it is advisable not to use the left hand to shake hands or handle food. When in Iran, when receiving or passing items, use both hands with the left hand under the right hand to respect Islamic culture in Iran. Persecution of the LGBT community. To be openly LGBT in Iran is not just a social risk, it is a matter of life and death. Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, same-sex relationships have been criminalized, carrying punishments ranging from imprisonment to execution. The law is unambiguous. Homosexuality is an abomination, and those who practice it are treated as criminals under both religious and state law. For Iran's LGBT individuals, life becomes a constant game of survival. Public affection, same-sex companionship, or even digital evidence of identity can lead to arrest, torture, or death. Transgender individuals are paradoxically allowed to undergo gender-confirming surgery, but this is often done under state pressure as a means to cure homosexuality rather than affirm identity. The environment is deeply hostile. Many Iranians, indoctrinated by conservative Islamic doctrine, view LGBT people with disdain, hatred, and fear. Families often disown their LGBT children. Communities ostracize or betray them. Escape becomes the only option. Every year, LGBT individuals flee Iran seeking asylum. Their only chance to live openly and safe in Iran. Love is policed, and identity is punished. Those who don't conform must live in the shadows or flee for their lives. Prohibition of using social media. The digital Iron Curtain. Once again, we encounter the heavy shadow of what the state calls the Western cultural invasion within Iran. Alongside the strict ban on the companionship of dogs, the world's most prominent social media platforms, Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube, remain entirely forbidden to the public. These measures are designed with a singular, sharp purpose to stifle the spread of anti-regime sentiment and to block the influence of the United States and the West. It is a digital wall built to ensure that the internal struggles of the nation do not leak out into the eyes of the world. To understand the modern friction between Iran and the United States, one must look back to a time when they stood as close allies, a bond that was shattered by the flames of the 1979 Iranian Revolution. While historians debate the many causes of this collapse, the turning point was marked by repeated and severe violations of human rights, reaching a dark peak during the Iran hostage crisis. Beginning in November of 1979 and stretching until January of 1981, 52 American diplomats and citizens were held captive for 444 grueling days. This single event, forged in a furnace of differing ideologies and fueled further by Iran's controversial nuclear ambitions, has left the relationship between these two nations strained to the point of breaking. Yet, even in the face of such absolute government restrictions, the Iranian people have not surrendered their connection to the world. They navigate the digital landscape through the use of virtual private networks, the private tunnels known as VPNs, to bypass the state's blockades. In a striking contradiction, even the very officials who enforce these bans have been known to use these same tools to access the prohibited reaches of the internet. Despite the risks, countless individuals maintain their presence on platforms like Facebook, quietly reaching out across the divide to stay connected with the life that exists beyond their borders. Ban on dog ownership. While the rest of the world considers dogs loyal and adorable companions assisting humans, Iran prohibits all citizens from owning dogs. The reason is that in Islam, dogs are considered impure, and keeping dogs is an uncommon practice in Iran. However, some families in the country, especially in urban areas, still keep them as pets, and many people walk their dogs in public. In the past, Iran's religious police actively opposed releasing dogs in public spaces and issued warnings about confiscating these animals if discovered. Things took a turn for the worse for dog lovers when, in 2014, Iran officially banned citizens from keeping dogs. The given reason was that dogs could spread diseases to humans due to their impurity. And more importantly, dog ownership was seen as blindly imitating Western culture. As soon as the ban on dog ownership was announced, dogs in Iran were immediately sent to hell, stray dogs and pet dogs alike. Any dog spotted by the police would be killed. In 2015, a short film depicting several stray dogs being killed by the police in Iran circulated widely, sparking condemnation and protests involving celebrities and animal lovers. The 2-minute video showed dogs seemingly being injected with acid at the Shiraz industrial zone, 900 kilometers south of Tehran. Many outraged individuals protested in Shiraz and other cities including Kerman, Karay west of Tehran, as well as at the Vice President Masuma Ebtekar's office in Tehran. However, the protesters' efforts couldn't bring justice for the dogs. And to this day, dogs in Iran are hunted and killed daily. Bans on entering mosques. It seems that the enticing and magnificent Islamic mosque would be the first places you'd visit when exploring Islamic countries like Iran. For the local community, these temples are not just places to connect with the Supreme Being, but also hold special sanctity in their souls. When visiting Islamic mosques, one must maintain respect and adhere to strict rules to show respect for Islam. Mosques establish regulations regarding clothing. Everyone must comply with dress code rules, or they will be denied entry. Wear modest, long-sleeved clothing, avoiding revealing or tight clothing. Men should avoid t-shirts and shorts, opting for loose-fitting trousers and refrain from wearing flip-flops. Women must wear a headscarf. If you have long hair, tie it up or back to secure the headscarf better and protect your hair. The clothing should be serious, with loose, long attire that covers wrists. Alternatively, wear a long skirt that reaches the ankles. Everyone must remove their shoes before entering the mosque, making loafers the preferred footwear. Stay within the allowed visiting area of the mosque. Refrain from wandering around. Children need close supervision, should not run or jump inside the mosque and its surrounding areas, and must follow the mosque's strict regulations. Smoking and bringing food into the mosque area are prohibited. Do not touch the Quran or any items inside the prayer hall. The mandatory dress code within the borders of Iran, particularly for women, stands as one of the most striking and debated realities of life in the country. While it is presented as a reflection of deep-seated religious values and a preservation of national identity, for many, the strict enforcement of such modesty represents a significant limitation on personal freedom and individual expression. Requiring women to drape themselves in the traditional chador or dictating the specific hairstyles permitted for men feels to many observers more like a system of rigid control than one of cultural heritage. There is a profound value in the ability to dress according to one's own comfort and unique personality. It is a fundamental form of self-expression that defines how we move through the world. Reflecting on these rules often serves as a powerful reminder of the precious nature of the freedom of appearance. It fosters a deep sense of empathy for those who navigate these daily restrictions, facing penalties simply for the act of expressing who they are through the clothes they wear. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to support our channel. And be sure to follow us for our upcoming features.